Hi, good morning. I'm Debbie with almost retired, and and I made that title up because, well, I still work part time. I'm 64 years old. I live in a travel trailer with my three dogs. There's one of them right there. He's sitting on the couch. I got a sheet on it. I've got another guy right there. And then there's a little Maverick over there. All right. So there you go on that. So I wanted to talk to people and let you know who I am and if there's any way I can help others. I say I'm partially retired because I do work a part-time job. And and the reason I'm in a travel trailer is when COVID hit, I had started working from home, selling life insurance, did really, really well at that. Then that slowed down too. Oh, that's a hard job. And before that, I was working for a bank. I was a private client banker, and I did fairly well. But the problem is, before that, I worked very young. I started working and no confidence whatsoever. So I took a job and it was a family business. They were wonderful people, don't get me wrong, but they didn't pay very well. So I lived paycheck to paycheck. And I was raising my daughter. And so I never had money to save. And I was there for almost 18 years. And then when my daughter, that was my dog, he's got a cough. But anyways, when my daughter graduated from high school and was going to do college, I had a friend of mine offer me another job and it paid more. So, and I would be able to work from home. I was so excited. I said, great, I'm going to take it. It had to do with private investigating. And so she was getting this contract with a MTA bus service way back when in California, and for workers' comp stuff. Unfortunately, a month into it, the contract fell through. And she said, I'm so sorry, Debbie, but now I'm not making the money. You got to go find something else. And I panicked. I went, oh, I don't know anything. Even though I ran their office, I did their payroll, their receivables, their spreadsheets. I did all the rent because they were a general contractor who built their own apartment buildings or bought their own apartments. And I handled all that kind of stuff, did the payroll for the managers. I did it all. But I never thought I was good enough for anything. And so that insecurity led me to not making any money. I worked very hard, I felt, and but darn my insecurity. And I'll bet there's a lot of other people who feel the same way. Your insecurities get in your way. So after that, I did get a sales job. I go, okay, I'm going to try this sales job. It was for HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. I couldn't believe it. I was in sales, and it was because a gal who I was working a temporary job for property management, which I knew very well. She said, you should do this. She said, you should do sales. I'm a word processor. Is that right? Anyways, loan processor. That's it. And I'm the boss. And I said, well, oh, I can do that. And she said, no, you should do sales. She says, my fiance has his own sales team. I'm going to talk to him about you. So I sent my resume and got her interview, and they had told me, you have no experience. And I said, well, give me a chance. Give me a chance. Show me what you do. I will do my best. And I got to tell you, I hit the floor running, hit the ground running. And I couldn't believe it. I did so well. I I was on top of the world. I gained some confidence. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I definitely can do sales. I can talk to people. It was easy. And I made enough money and I go, oh my gosh, I've never had this much money before. I better do something with it. So I bought a house. And I didn't realize when I was buying the house that the market was crashing. I didn't know. So I bought this beautiful house by the beach in Huntington Beach, California, and the market crashed. And now these jobs, like that job was gone. And everybody got laid off. And I was stuck again. And now I couldn't pay the mortgage because I couldn't make that kind of money anymore. So that was a little scary. And I lost my house. I lost everything I had. And I had to start from scratch again. Well, I had a friend who she was very high up at Chase Bank, and so I asked her if I could get some help with that. So I got a job with Chase Bank and worked my way up to be a private client banker, which you get to work with people. This is my gig. I can work with people. I can talk to people. And it was a lot of seniors, and I just love seniors. I'm now a senior. So yeah, no. But I did really pretty good. I mean, I didn't make the money I was making when I worked with the home equity line of credit, but I did pretty good. Well, then big corporate America, that definitely wasn't my scene either. But by God's grace, it was going away. I worked at it for over 10 years, don't get me wrong. And COVID hit. I was getting older and I went, goodness, I need to do something else. And so I was looking at insurance because now I had my securities licenses. I had the securities license, didn't mean I really knew much about securities, but you had to have it in the position I was in. I do find stocks and bonds very interesting. So don't get me wrong, I had to know something, and I had my life insurance license. So I got into life insurance. That's where the life insurance came in. I started working from home on that. I was recruiting people. I had to quit my banking job because of it, but COVID was hitting anyways, so it was by God's grace. And the problem is in life insurance, I started to do really well again. But did you know when you buy an insurance policy, and I'm pretty sure nobody really understands this, you get a commission. And it can be a very nice commission. It's a wonderful thing. But if somebody decides they don't want that policy or they just can't afford it, and seniors can't afford it, you're living on a minimal amount of money, and they would have to quit paying on it. Problem is, in first year, if you quit paying on that, they charge the agent back the commission that was earned. So now you have to pay that back, and you're trying to scramble to sell more to get that money back. And it was a vicious cycle. And I started to find myself just going, I don't want to do this anymore either. Well, I was now, this wasn't that long ago. I thought, gosh, maybe I should just go ahead and take my Social Security. That was at 62. I went, no, I'm gonna try and hang in there a little bit longer. And I did, but I just, I'm burnt out. I was burnt out. I'm broke and I'm burnt out. But in between all that, when COVID hit, I decided to buy a travel trailer and a truck. So I bought a travel trailer and a truck, and I said, gosh, I can work from home with the life insurance. So got all that, and what was they failed to tell me, I got the truck in California, and I was going to go to Idaho because my little sister moved to Idaho, and I called and negotiated for a good interest rate on the trailer, and I got it in Post Falls, Idaho, because they were trying to charge too much in California. And no, you guys, if you have good credit, don't you settle for a poor interest rate when you know you can do better. Don't ever settle. And I knew that much. So I bought the trailer, but I bought it in Post Falls while I was still in California, making my plans to make my way to Post Falls. So I did that. The problem was the trailer, this beautiful trailer. It's a beautiful trailer. Yeah, once you put all your stuff in, I only got a Chevy Silverado 150. And my trailer's like 32 feet. And even though they said, oh, yeah, it'll work. When you put your stuff in, it doesn't work. This trailer's too heavy. Well, I did, I tried to pull it around myself. Very, very scary, but it was very heavy. And I just finally, there's in between on that, because I've been doing this, for 4 years now. I started this in 2022. It's 2026 now. I'm back here in Post Falls, and I'm parked in a trailer, little RV park. And I found a really nice RV park. I mean, some of the trailers are older, I kid you not, but it's a small one. I don't have this big community. I have to deal with all these neighbors. Just some really nice people who might be a little bit down on their luck. I've been very, very fortunate. There's been ups and downs along the way. I know we can all understand that. But I am here. I'm here with my 3 dogs. I do have a part-time job because I want to pay off the truck and the trailer, because I had to finance, as you know, the interest rate on the trailer. So I was thinking I could do this journey with you guys, and on my days off. Today's my day off, and maybe share some real inspirational things with you. My trailer, and maybe around the community of Post Falls. I hope you guys are interested in this. I am a big believer in the Lord, and would love to share some great stories with you. And I want you to know you're not alone. Are you kind of in the same boat? Did the same thing happen where maybe you raising a child, or maybe you even weren't, but you didn't have the self-esteem? I think there's a lot of us out there. In fact, I know there's a lot of us out here, because where I work now, part-time, I'm just a little cashier, and there's senior little cashiers there too who are stuck, and they're older than me, and it's all because we struggled all our lives. Maybe we were raising kids, maybe whatever the case may be. We all go through something. And I know that sometimes you see some of the videos, and God bless them, they're taking off, I'm in my trailer and then I'm going to travel and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to do that. That was my plan. And maybe someday I will. But maybe they had a house they got to sell, and so things were a little bit easier on them. We don't all have it that easy. So if you can resonate with this, gosh, oh gosh, follow me. We can have great conversations. I would love to share some real positive things with you guys, and things that, the Lord will bless me with, and God will bless you with things too. So just saying hi, and I'm going to post this video and see if I can get your attention, and we can help each other along the way. So I always say, God sees your movies. So everything that you do, everything that you say, he sees it. And we're not going to live forever. So we got to try to be kind to one another, and make our simple little mark along the way. Have a great day, and thanks for listening. Bye.